Hey, it's Corey Glover from Living Color. We are on tour with Extreme in Australia this September.
Beautiful, Corey. Thanks for joining us today, my friend.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good, good, very good.
Good to hear. So, as you say, Living Colour hit Australia with Extreme for a run of shows starting in Melbourne on September 4th before hitting Perth and Adelaide, then back to Melbourne, then Sydney, and finishing in Brisbane on September 13th. So she's getting closer, mate. Are you packed and ready to go?
Yeah, well, we're already on the road. Us and Extreme are on the road in North America right now, touring parts of the Northeast right now and heading west.
Right. But it's a decent run of shows for you too, bro. Like, you're a long way from home with a decent run of shows. So how do you prepare mentally and physically for a tour like this?
Well, you just have to know you're not going home. you know, you have to be aware that, you're going to be away from home for a long time. And you have to get your family situation right. You have to get your mind right and know that you're going to be out here, sleeping on a bus and drinking bad soda.
You were last out here in Australia a couple of years ago, mate. So what's changed with the band since then? Anything?
Nothing really has changed. It's all the same, folks. It's all the same music. We're going to try and we have a good time when we come to Australia. We always have a good time there. We always have a good time on stage with each other. So you can expect to have a good time. And both bands are on point, and it's going to be a really good time.
Oh. So what can we expect from your shows this time? I'm pretty sure from memory, last time you were out, you played the whole album in full because it was the anniversary tour.
Yes.
So what do we expect this time?
Well, it depends on what's going on when we get there. As like you said, we have a catalog of a lot of songs that we are going to put into the hopper and see what comes out. And plus, we're going to try to work in some newer things and stuff from newer albums, maybe even some new songs that we're like sort of road testing to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And the last time I saw you guys, Will did an awesome drum solo in the dark. He had glow sticks strapped to his drumsticks, and it looked fantastic. Right. Like, have you got anything special? Any surprises like that lined up this time?
If it was a surprise, you wouldn't know about it now, would you?
Very good answer. And as we said earlier on, you're going to be touring with Extreme. Like, why do you two bands make good touring partners, do you think?
I think we share the same sort of musical ethos that it's, and the way it's set up is very similar. It's bass, drum, guitars, and vocals. We're both doing that. Both amazing guitar players, doing their things, in a really good band, and it just seems to work really, really well thus far.
So if you go back in history a little bit with Living Colour, mate, like Vernon started the band back in 1984 with you joining 2 years later. Like, when you joined, what did you bring to the band? Like, did you have the same vision as Vernon back then?
I think initially we all wanted to, we're all coming from a particular sort of ideological sort of bent musically, and we were really trying to deal with the emotional impact of being where we were, how we were at that particular point in time. To be sort of outsiders and sort of living outside the box and trying to throw rocks at the box and trying to get in the box and then trying to get out of the box. It's all weird metaphors that we sort of all agreed on.
Mm-hmm. And in your time as a band, like the music industry, I guess, and the music scene's undergone a lot of changes, mate. Like, are Living Colour the sort of band who tried to adapt and change with the times, or have you more stuck to your own path?
I think we, as time goes, we evolve, and things do evolve. We you know, and if our records are any evidence of where we are, Vivid is not the same as Kaleidoscope, is not the same as Stain, is not the same as Chair in the Doorway. So none of our records sort of truck on our past. So we try to keep evolving.
Hey, you mentioned Vivid, like that was your debut album that came out in 1988, and it's fair to say that changed the landscape of music forever, mate. Like, when you guys finished recording that, or when you're in the process of recording that, like, did you have any inkling that it was going to be such a game changer?
We knew if we stuck to our guns and we just kept hacking away and playing, our dynamic musically was was very compelling. That people, when we played, people listened, and we thought that if we kept doing that, maybe enough people would hear us. It wasn't our game plan to sort of take over the world immediately. We were trying to do it in steps, very gradual steps. It just so happens that we sort of hit on something that really sort of really resonated with people, and our success came from that.
And it is fair to say that you definitely took a lot of risks on that album. Like you say, there's a lot of things musically there that hadn't been done before. At any stage during that process, did you think maybe you've gone too far, or maybe people might not get what you were going for?
I don't think we weren't concerned as much about going too far. We were trying to figure out where the limit was every day. We are looking to see what we can take and how we can push it further. Even now, with songs that we've already recorded. So limits are not the issue. It's how far can it go?
Now, you mentioned new music a few times. So does that mean that you've actually started work on a follow-up album to Shade?
We're in the very, very beginning stages of making a new album. Yeah. Going from song to song and seeing what works and what doesn't work, and what we can add and or subtract to it, and just doing all the math that's required to making songs that we would be satisfied with. Because when we make a record, song or whatever, that's the basement of its musical expression. We're trying to take it all the way to the top of what it is live. So that the actual song the actual recorded song is the foundation, and we'll figure out where we can go.
And you mentioned you might be playing a few of the new songs when you're over here. Is that right?
Maybe, and maybe not. You never know. We're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So again, here are those surprises you've been asking about.
Thanks, buddy. We just started a new thing here with Heavy. We're asking bands that we interview for a few songs for a Spotify playlist, or 3 different playlists that we're making up. So can you give us, they're all your songs, can you give us a Living Colour song to get you fired up to party, Living Colour song that's going to save your marriage, and a Living Colour song that could potentially end your marriage?
Okay, so you said a song that gets me up.
Get fired up to party.
Is fired up to party. I like Freedom of Expression for that. You said something that would get me married, or
save your marriage.
Would save my marriage. Nothing could save my marriage. I just want to let you know. There's no amount of music that could save my marriage.
You're wrong with you there.
Yeah. Believe me, music was not the problem. But let's see, what Nothingness, I think, would probably help.
Yeah.
And what would end my marriage, other than me? Asshole.
Yeah, cool. Well answered. All right, Corey. Well, thanks very much for your time today. Living Colour will be in Australia with Extreme from September the 4th. So I'll be at the Brisbane show, mate. So I'll be waving at you from the crowd.
Cool. I'll see you there.